Hello and welcome. My name is Mark Epner. I'm a Chicago-based pilot with over half of my 2,000 plus hours in a Cirrus SR-22. Currently, I fly this 2011 normally aspirated G3, but also fly other aircraft whenever the opportunity presents itself. I love flying every bit as much as you do and look for ways to share that common bond through multiple paths, including this channel, as well as Simple Flight Aviation Radio, which you can find at simpleflight.net. My goal for the channel is to share my passion for aviation with others that share that same sentiment and do so with an eye towards proficiency, safety, and fun. Surprise, surprise, as you know, I love flying. Whether it's by myself or sharing aviation with a friend, it's always enjoyable. But I have to admit there are times I wish my family loved it as much as I do. Hence, I was so shocked when my wife of 43 years asked me to take her flying for lunch on July 4th. After picking myself off the floor, I asked her who she was and what she had done with my wife. You see, when we were in college, she would fly with me without much thought. But when I got back into aviation after a 25-year hiatus, she was a lot more reticent, especially if there isn't a real good reason to go. So I'm going to take advantage of our momentary lapse by heading down to Indianapolis to Eagle Creek Airport, which has a great fly-in restaurant right across the street from the airport. It's called Rick's Cafe Boatyard, which has a great menu, a great atmosphere sitting on the reservoir, and really will break up the day, and I know she'll have a great time. She's excited to go. She's feeling relaxed about the flight. And it hit me knowing that a lot of pilots have the same situation with a less than enthusiastic flying partner. I'm going to grab the opportunity to ask her a couple of questions to better understand her concerns and then determine a strategy for moving the needle towards a more accepting attitude towards flying. So with that, let's go flying.
Chicago Executive Airport information, Kilo 15520 Zulu weather observation. Wind 2605, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 29. 2.19, altimeter 2998, Art Admiral 16 approaching use. Heading in departing runway 16, runway 24, runway 30. Notice the airmen, runway 6, happy eye intensities out of service. Advisors contact you of information, Kilo.
Cirrus 973 Sierra Delta executive clearance clear to the Echo Yankee Echo airports via the Monks 5 departure. Emily transition, that's Echo, Mike, Mike, Lima, Yankee. Direct Jax, Juliet, Alpha, Kilo, Kilo, Sierra. Direct Victor, Hotel, Papa. Then direct destination. Climb via SID, except maintain 2000. Departure frequency 120.55, squawk 6577.
Okay, Cirrus 973 Sierra Delta cleared to Echo Yankee Echo Airport. Monks 5, Emily transition, Jax, VHP direct. Climb via the SID, accept, maintain 2000, 120.55, squawking 6577.
Cirrus 3 Sierra Delta, read back is correct, thank you.
Executive ground Cirrus 973 Sierra Delta, ready to taxi Hangar 5 with information Kilo.
Cirrus 973 Sierra Delta, executive ground runway 16, taxi via Delta Yankee Lima, cross runway 12.
Delta Yankee Lima, cross 12 to runway 16, 3 Sierra Delta.
Non-instrument pilots have asked me how we remember all the instructions we have to repeat to ATC, and in the case of copying clearances, how we keep up with that clearance. Well, in most cases, either through preparation or just repetition and memorization, we know what ATC is going to say before they say it. In this case, I wrote down my tail number, destination, and departure frequency prior to requesting my clearance because those never change. Now, you may have noticed I was expecting an initial and final altitude with the 10-minute mark listed as well, but the format I used still allowed me to enter the climb via the SID, the Standard Instrument Departure instruction. And as for the routing, I either know what I will get or I use a flight planning app like ForeFlight to select a routing, and that's how I file. So for example, I enter the departure airport and destination, and then select from the list of available routes. Then once selected using FlightStream, I automatically send the routing to my Cirrus perspective in the cockpit.
Cirrus 3 Sierra Delta, start your left turn heading 040 within a half-mile departure end, runway 16, clear for takeoff.
Left turn 040 within a half-mile of the departure, clear for takeoff 16, 3 Sierra Delta. I'm going to turn off the air conditioner for the takeoff. Okay, landing light both. Left is clear, right is clear. We are cleared for takeoff. Left turn 040. Let us go flying. Okay, everything is in the green, looking good. Airspeed is alive.
Okay, heading 270 southwest, 3667.
Lakefront 27, fly heading 210.
Heading 210, Lakefront 47.
3 Sierra Delta, fly heading 230.
230, 3 Sierra Delta.
Number 3 Whiskey Tango, call the tower 1209.
Tower 09.
Number 3 Sierra Delta, traffic no factor, fly heading 180.
Left turn 180, 3 Sierra Delta.
Lakefront 47, fly heading 130.
Heading 130, Lakefront 47.
Lakefront 47, descend to 3000.
Send 3000, Lakefront 47.
Number 3 Sierra Delta, fly heading 140.
Left turn 140, 3 Sierra Delta.
3 Sierra Delta, climb to 5000.
Climb maintain 5000, 3 Sierra Delta.
Number 973 Sierra Delta, kind of approach on 11935.
1935, thanks for the help, 3 Sierra Delta.
Chicago, Lakefront 47, like to cancel IFR.
Lakefront 47, IFR cancellation received, squawk VFR for exchange proof.
Squawk 1200, have a good day, Lakefront 47.
Chicago approach Cirrus 973 Sierra Delta 4700, climbing 5140.
973 Sierra Delta, Chicago approach, altimeter 29907.
907, 3 Sierra Delta. I was going to say, I don't need any snacks, but you brought along a granola bar. My stomach is growling.
Mine is too.
You compare flying in the 70s versus in a general aviation airplane versus now, how, and you a different age, just different position in life. Easier, harder, more fearful, less fearful?
I'd probably have to say I'm more fearful because as I got older, I don't think I thought about it as much when I was in college and flying with you, although I was a little fearful then. But the difference in the planes you're flying, you know, I'm more confident, like the parachute and that kind of stuff.
And you always liked to fly at night because you could see other airplanes and it was prettier. Is that change, or do you now prefer to fly in the daytime?
No, I like flying at night because of the, you can see the lights of the other airplanes, so it's not a factor, you know, where during the daytime I get a little nervous, like if I can't see the plane or you can't see the plane.
Even though we see it potentially here and someone's pointing it out.
Right, but I still feel like, why aren't we seeing it? But the only thing at night now I think about is if you had to do emergency landing, how you would, you know, it's harder just because you can't see the ground, so where you're landing.
Yet if I gave you the offer of flying
Approach, Southwest 5063 is with you, 6000.
to Kansas City,
Southwest
night or in the day,
Kilo Karen, that expect the RNAV Yankee 22 left.
versus
Yankee
driving.
22 left and we'll get Kilo, Southwest 5063.
Versus driving, you know, 8.5 hours in the car, 2.5 hours in the plane, you'd rather fly.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Especially during the pandemic.
especially during the pandemic.
Yeah.
But even not, right? We don't like the long drives.
No, that's a little bit of a long drive.
How about a 4-hour drive to Cedar Rapids versus a 1-hour flight? Knowing we got to spend a half an hour pre-flighting and a half an hour putting the plane away on the other end. So maybe we save 50% of the time just going to Cedar Rapids rather than 75%.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the drive to Cedar Rapids.
Would you prefer to drive over fly?
Sometimes, because it's a hassle, then we get there and then we have to wait to get a Uber or whatever to get to their house. And I kind of like the convenience of just having the car.
maintain 4,000.
And it's not that
Down to
bad of
4,000, Southwest
a
5063.
drive that it bothers me that much. I mean, yes, it's nice to get there in an hour, but like you said, you're pre-flighting, and then you've got
November 3
land, and
Sierra
then
Delta, contact Chicago Center, 132.5.
32.5, thanks, 3 Sierra Delta.
926 Chicago Center, welcome, do not see 300, not for sequencing.
Chicago Center, Sirius 973 Sierra Delta, 5,000 direct earned.
Number 973 Sierra Delta, Chicago Center, welcome, KDC altimeter 3001.
3001, 3 Sierra Delta. But yet today you said, hey, I'll go to lunch with you, so you're not paralyzed by your discomfort in the airplane.
right.
Or maybe you are.
No, I mean, it was a way to spend time with you, because I figured you'd go to the airport anywhere.
Yeah.
And it was a holiday, and I thought it'd be a nice way to spend time together.
I still remember when I asked you after all our years of flying together why you looked down as we land. And you said it's because you're afraid we were going to cartwheel down the runway because of how I configured the plane for a crosswind landing, dip a wing.
Right.
That was so funny for me after 30 years to finally understand it. So advice to pilots out there, if you have a flying companion, don't assume they know some of the skills you bring to the table may look like accidents waiting to happen to the uninformed.
Sierra 3 Sierra Delta, center maintain 3,000.
Center maintain 3,000, 3 Sierra Delta. All of a sudden we get a little bump, and I haven't even started descending yet.
Special aircraft parachute operation effect over Franklin flying field up to 1,500.
Okay, checklist. Altimeter set, cabin, landing light coming on, fuel, mixture, brake, seat belts, fuel pump, mixture, flaps, and autopilot. There's a big gray area off to the right about 1 o'clock. That's got to be Indianapolis International Airport. Kind of a brownish where everything else is green. That's always a good sign for a good way to locate an airport. All the green stops. 1,000 feet to go.
Sierra 3 Sierra Delta, Eagle Creek is 12 o'clock, 10 miles, advisement in sight.
Wilco, 3 Sierra Delta. 3 Sierra Delta has the airport in sight.
Sierra 3 Sierra Delta, clear vision approach Eagle Creek Air Park, advise IFR cancellation. This frequency in the air or on the ground as published. Change to advisory frequency approved.
Okay, and we'll go ahead and cancel IFR at this time.
Sierra 3 Sierra Delta, thank you. IFR cancellation. See you, squawk VFR, frequency improved. No traffic, 0 to New Eagle Creek. Have a good day.
Thanks so much, 3 Sierra Delta Squawk and VFR. Eagle Creek traffic, Red Sierra is 5 miles to the northwest. We'll be entering a left downwind runway 3, Eagle Creek. Okay, gas undercarriage mixture, prop. Pull some power out, get to our appropriate approach speed. Eagle Creek traffic, Red Sierra left downwind 03, Eagle Creek. Lots of cars in the parking lot.
Shelbyville, Mooney 05 uniform is crossing midfield at 2,000 feet. Dinner left downwind runway 1, Shelbyville.
Eagle Creek traffic, Red Cirrus left base 3, Eagle Creek.
Crawfordsville traffic down at 769 Lima. Left crosswind, runway 4, Crawfordsville.
Shelbyville, Mooney 05 uniform turning left downwind runway 1, full stop Shelbyville.
Eagle Creek, Red Cirrus, final 3, Eagle Creek. Left to right crosswind, yaw damper is off, gas undercarriage mixture prop, a little high, which is better than a little low. And there's our restaurant.
Well, as we approach and land at Eagle Creek and walk across the street to Rick's Cafe Boatyard, I think about what I learned today, and it really isn't so surprising. Our non-pilot passengers have fears and thoughts that don't mirror ours, and we need to have a strategy to shift that focus. I often talk about the word community being made up of two root words, common unity, a single thing that binds a group together, and for pilots, it's a love of aviation. But at the same time, for friends and family whose common unity is a lack of passion for flying, is just as valid. I've always characterized it in the past as there are plane people and there's non-plane people. But I think I have a better characterization, that is, there are destination people and there are journey people. So let's face it, boring holes in the sky is a verb to pilots, but to people like my wife, it's an adjective. So I think back and I remember a time I was flying with really no destination in mind, and I found myself close to Iowa City where my son was living, so I landed and took him to lunch. When she heard what I had done, my wife said, "Boy, if you had told me that, I would have come with." So I knew she had a focus on family. And today's flight was really revolving around family as well, because for whatever reason, she wanted to spend time with me, so she was on board with the flight, pun intended. Other flights she enjoyed in the past include a quick 24-hour visit to Nashville, an afternoon flight to Madison, Wisconsin to experience the art fair on the square because she loves art fairs. So lesson number 1 is figure out if your flying companion is all about the journey or destination and develop a plan around that. Lesson 2 is to understand what bothers them about flying. Is it turbulence? Is there some misunderstanding that is creating fear? Is there a discomfort flying in the clouds or fear of something happening to you, the pilot? Make no assumptions. For instance, I notice my wife looks down in her lap when we land. And after a lot of years, I finally asked her why, and she told me she didn't like how the wind pushed our wing down towards the runway, and that she was afraid that the wingtip would hit the ground and we would cartwheel down the runway in a fiery ball. I was shocked that she didn't know that I was the pilot dipping that wing into a crosswind to keep us aligned with the runway. Other things I've learned is she's afraid of hitting another airplane, thinks a tiny bit of ice on the wing will bring the plane out of the sky, and she actually hates it when she sees the plane flying into a cloud. So now I have her help me find airplanes that are pointed out to me by air traffic controller we see on our traffic display in the cockpit. And she's really good at it. I avoid flying in clouds if possible, and I don't even talk about the possibility of ice. I spend appropriate amount of time briefing her on the use of the parachute, the autopilot, and how to talk to air traffic control. But getting her to touch any controller or even talk on the radio is an insurmountable task. So I don't push and I don't ask. I bring the newspaper for her to read. She does crossword puzzles, and there's always something that we can talk about. The term pilot in command means more than just flying the airplane. It's making the passengers comfortable, too. Well, I'm interested to hear about your strategies to get your partner in the cockpit and get them wanting more. Please provide me your thoughts in the comments below. So thanks for flying with me today, and until next time, blue skies and tailwinds.